Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Winning Picks Weekly, week 17 of the NFL. My goodness, Greg. As always, you know what it is, Winning P Weekly on Twitter. Hit us up there. We post our stuff. And you can find our YouTube if you're listening here on Knicks Comment, Jets Comment, ETC. Please like and subscribe. Helps us out. If you're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play, hit us with that 5-star review. Leave us a comment. We appreciate it. And without further ado, Greg, video producer, co-host of the Jets Pods. What's up, Greg?
What's up, man? Ready for another week? Week 17 is coming down to the wire for some of these teams. I can't believe it. I'm ready to go, though. Locked and loaded.
So many playoff implications this week. Let's just skip the Thursday game as we're recording Thursday night. And this game does not matter. Tennessee benched their entire team. I have Dallas at minus 13.5. Looks like you do too. So we'll have that down for the record.
Yep.
But let's just start here on the Sunday slate, 1 o'clock. Let's start with the games that matter. There's only two that really don't matter. And the one is Jacksonville versus Houston. Jacksonville, same as the Titans, are going to play each other next week for the division. And we have Arizona versus Atlanta, two terrible teams.
You want to just give
So
out those picks quick, and we'll move on to the games that matter?
yeah, what do you got?
I like Houston. I like Houston last week. I like them again this week, plus 4.5. And Arizona. Arizona plus 3. They're on the road, which concerns me a little bit. Hopefully Colt McCoy is healthy this week, it looks like, to get him back. And yeah, I'm just really taking the points in both those games. Houston's a home team getting points. I like that. Arizona plus 3. Last week it worked with me taking a lot of dogs. Last week it worked with me fading myself. I've liked Atlanta at home all season, so I'm taking Arizona in that game. And I mean, Jacksonville looks really good coming off a Thursday night beatdown against our Jets. And then, the last couple weeks, really, they've looked pretty good. So they should be able to beat the terrible Houston Texans. But I'm taking both ugly games. I'm taking both ugly picks, Arizona and Houston, plus the points.
All right, so I like what you said about Jacksonville, which is why I'm taking Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And Doug Peterson talking about how they're going to be ready for this game, how they're not going to bench anyone, how they're playing to win the game, even though this game literally doesn't matter. I totally believe them. They're trying to keep this hot streak going. I like where Jacksonville is, and they love to run the ball. The
Does
quarterback
it matter?
runs.
Doesn't it matter for Jacksonville for playoffs?
No, they're playing for the division next week.
Oh, okay.
Jacksonville versus Tennessee.
Gotcha. That's why
Winner gets
Tennessee
in the
benched
division.
everyone. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm taking Jacksonville minus 4.5 here. They're going to run it all over Houston. That if you run the ball, I just have to take you. That's been the formula here against Houston, so I'm not going to change it.
Yep.
And for Arizona versus Atlanta, dude, this is a huge game for Atlanta. I don't know where the motivation is for Arizona with JJ Watt retiring. That scares me.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
At the other side, maybe D Hop. This is his last couple of games with Arizona. We'll see. That contract's crazy. I was taking a look at it today. Kingsbury, maybe last couple of games. I think it's over there. I don't know if Connor's going to put his health on the line for this game. I just don't know where the motivation is. It can go either way for Arizona. For Atlanta, there is motivation, man. Desmond is fighting for his life here. He's really he's playing for everything. It's -3 at home, which means it's even at home. I'm taking Atlanta here just based on motivation. I know it's there. I don't know what Colt McCoy is, Trace McSorley. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they're really trying really hard on the road in Atlanta on New Year's Eve or right around New Year's. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Trace McSorley won me the pick'em last week, our pick'em league that we're in. I won that because Arizona was able to cover against Tampa Bay. Even looked like they did everything they could to lose that game. So maybe
start
that's
there.
a little bit of favorite pick for me.
Let's start there. Because I think that was less about Arizona and Trace McSorley and more about Todd Bowles and Tampa Bay.
Oh.
And this game is possibly for the division, man.
Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers are Carolina Panthers, the mini Jets. Sam Darnold versus Tom Brady. Just how we all pictured it. Carolina in Tampa. Tampa -2.5. Basically for the division, man. This is crazy. What do you like in this game?
It is. I mean, I'm trying it again this week. It worked for me last week. I'm fading myself. I like Tampa Bay. You're taking Tom Brady at home with a
Oh,
division on the
surprising.
line. It's less than a field goal. So I personally like Tampa Bay. I'm looking to try to see what the money is right now. 78% of the money is on the Panthers. So with Tom Brady at home, you're fading the public. It's 2.5. You're under the field goal. All those reasons why I like Tampa Bay is why I'm taking Carolina. I'm not good at gambling this late in the season. I figured out a winning strategy last week. I clawed to a 11 and something week last week. I don't know, it was 11-5.
Yeah.
So I'm trying it again. Give me Carolina. I want ugly, ugly games, ugly, ugly picks. And if it happens to get points, that's great. That's what won me last week. So give me Carolina plus 2.5 on the road.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Carolina here. They have been running the ball so well. And I remember when we were talking about that Carolina defense, and you were like, "Really? Do they have a good defense?" Dude, they have an amazing defense.
Yeah,
And
I looked it up after that episode. I think they're bottom five in, I can't remember if it's passing defense or rushing defense, but the other side, passing or rushing, they were like top five. So, you can get you're in a world of hurt against Carolina, and they look good last week against the Lions.
the last couple weeks, man,
Yeah.
the last couple weeks, the Panthers have been really on their game here, especially on the defense. Tampa just looks so bad.
Oh,
I love Carolina, and I actually I'm gonna make this my first best bet of the day.
okay.
I absolutely love the Carolina Panthers. The interim coach, man, I think he might be the I don't know how you don't give him the head coaching job. I wonder if this has even ever happened in the history of football, where you fire your head coach mid-season, especially this late, and then he wins a division.
If
That's
they win the
crazy.
division, yeah, it's gonna be tough not to give them the job.
That's crazy. And it starts with beating Tom Brady, man. You gotta put away the ghost. Is Sam Darnold going to see ghosts this week?
Got tuned in to find out. I don't think so. I mean, I do think so. That's why I'm taking them.
All right, let's move on here to. We mentioned ghosts. Let's stay in New England here. This is a crazy game, dude. Miami plus 2.5 at New England, same exact spread. Talk about seeing ghosts. Tua hurt, Teddy two gloves going into New England. New England, very very good defense. That's all we really have to know, right?
Yeah,
The offense
best
stinks
scoring defense in the league. Good special
every week,
teams.
dude. They score every week. It's
It
crazy.
is crazy.
We're just excited if we get an actual turnover. They're literally getting points every single week.
Yeah.
But what's funny is the Dolphins did not win in December, 4-game losing streak. Patriots 2-game losing streak, and the playoffs are on the line.
Yeah.
The Jets. I know this is not about the Jets. It's not about you, John. The world doesn't revolve around the Jets. But listen to this, man. The Jets need the Patriots to. We need Bill Belichick to lose one game, which means he's not going to lose these games. He's just not. Okay, so we have Tua out, Teddy Bridgewater versus Bill Belichick. I mean, that's no contest for me. I honestly, the Miami defense has been so bad. Mac Jones is going to figure it out. Or honestly, this could be a Zappy game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mac Jones does bad. The playoffs are on the line. The season's not over. Put in Zappy. He's going to heel torch Miami.
He had those two electric drives against Chicago, and then it all fell apart. But those two drives, people are still thinking about him.
Man, we like Mike White for for not much more. So unfortunately, I like New England in this game. If I was objectively to talk about it, I love New England, but I'm gonna be cheering my heart out for Miami.
Yeah, I agree with all the things you said. That's why I like New England in this one. To your point, the Jets need Bill Belichick and the Patriots to lose. It's cold in New Orleans or New England. Bill Belichick just doesn't lose when we need him to lose. So I'm all with you with New England, especially with how bad they've looked on offense. It wouldn't surprise me if they come out and score 30 points on Miami's bad defense. But I'm fading myself. I'm going with Miami. I'm thinking it's going to be a shootout. I like the over in this game. But I'm going with Miami. That's plus 2.5. Really doesn't do it for me. It's just I like New England so much, I have to take Miami.
All right. let's jump to the other New York team. We got the New York Giants. They need one win and they're in. They control their own destiny. And luckily for them, they're playing one of the worst teams in the league this year that nobody's talking about. And that's a 4-10-1 Indianapolis Colts. I mean, that one game by Jeff Saturday really saved them because they have looked just so bad. Switching quarterbacks, Nick Foles, the now it's Nick Foles. We have both sides of their line just looking horrid, honestly horrid.
Yeah.
Obviously, that they blew that game versus Minnesota. It's really hard to come back from that. I don't know where their motivation is going to be. The weather, luckily for them, is not too bad. Like, this could be so much worse. The weather looks fine on Sunday here, and the Giants are motivated. The Giants are looking like they're going to get the healthiest they've ever been this entire year. They need to win. They're at home. They are not losing to the Indianapolis, even though it's such a Giants move to lose this game. Just in general, like bring it down to the wire versus the Eagles. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that sounds way more right to me. But I have to give it to the Giants here. They have to win by a touchdown, man. They not if they lose this game, they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean,
I think they can win by 3 touchdowns. They should. They should win by 3 touchdowns. They should, dude. Indianapolis stinks. Why is Indianapolis even gonna wake up in the morning on Sunday and go play? Why?
Yeah,
The
no,
coach
I
is leaving.
agree.
The quarterback is leaving. the line is gonna change. The weapons are not gonna be there. Like, why are you even going to work if you're on Sunday on New Year's? Like, why?
Yeah, you're going to be in New York City New Year's Eve, and then you got to wake up on New Year's Day and go play um, the
Like, a game
Giants
that
at 1
literally does
o'clock.
not matter. And the Giants
Yeah.
are going to bed at 9 o'clock. The Giants are not even going to see the ball drop. They'd be like,
Yeah.
yo, we just need this game because we do not want to play the Eagles who are looking for a bye week.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I'm taking the Colts. Just trying to fade myself here. I think the Giants should win this game. 6 points, a lot of points in the NFL, is maybe the only positive thing I can think about the Colts right now. They just don't look good. The star running backs hurt. To your point, that a whole team is going to change over in the next 2 years here. Their once star-studded, dominant offensive line is no more. They don't have a quarterback. They don't really have weapons on offense that can stay healthy. Defense is injured, has been injured all season, so they need to get healthy. They need to get guys back and new people in next year. But for some reason, I'm going with the Colts just because it's so ugly. The Giants at home, the only other shining like silver lining I can think of is I feel like the Giants at home aren't as good. Like, I think if you look at the splits for Daniel Jones, he's much better against the spread and straight up and stats wise on the road than he is at home.
100%.
So,
That's a fact.
yeah, so
That's a
6
fact.
points.
It's just in the out of the dome. I'm making this the best bet for the Giants, to be honest with you. This is gonna be my second best bet. They have to. The Giant, they literally have to for the Giants. Otherwise, their season's over, which would be disgusting if that happens versus Jeff Saturday.
I'm
Like,
looking at my
literally.
3 best bets, John, and they are so disgusting. I want to puke.
All right.
They're so gross.
Let's talk about this gross game. Nathaniel Hackett fired with 2 games to go. The guy, they couldn't just let him finish it out. Lots of slander on Russell Wilson. And also positive vibes from the wide receivers, from Judy and Hamlin, which is pretty nice to see, I'm sure, if you're Russell Wilson. He's here to stay. Plus 13.5 at Kansas City. Unfortunately for Denver, Kansas City is still looking for that number 1 spot. They need to win this game. They're finally starting to cover. Are they going to cover 2 touchdowns? I think it went down to 12.5.
I'll check FanDuel right now. It is 12.5 right now. Dude, I made a creed to never bet Denver, but they fired their coach. Maybe there's some new life here. Maybe there's something they could do. 12 points is a lot. It's a divisional game. I get that they're in KC, but the defense travels. Latavius Murray has looked good in spots this season, so I think they can run the ball. 12.5 is just a lot of points, but I'm a man of my word. This is the one bet I actually like this weekend, so it's probably going to lose. But I like KC minus 12.5. It's my first best bet of the day. And the reason why it makes me sick is because 12 points is a lot against this Denver defense. We talked about it at some points throughout the season. It's like if they scored 18 points every game, they would be like in the playoff hunt. So to win by 12 against Denver, if they score 2 touchdowns, you're in real trouble about covering the spread. So it makes me a little nervous how many points it is. I was thinking about doing it as my hold my nose pick, but every time I pick a big favorite in the form of a hold your nose, it always loses. So I skipped it. I went with the best bet here because, to your point, KC does need to win to keep pace for the 1 seed. So, and if anyone can beat a really good defense, it's Pat Mahomes. So give me KC minus 12.5.
So Denver has only let up more than 30 points. Well, I guess we have to talk about the Rams game. I completely forgot that the Rams dropped 50 on them. So
yeah, got Nathaniel Hackett fired.
Yeah, so the Broncos have given up 3 games with 30 points or more. They had the 50-piece by the Rams on Christmas, 34 to the Chiefs just 3 weeks ago,
Okay.
and then 32 to the Raiders week 4. So that's a decade ago.
Yeah.
Chiefs put up 34 on them, and that was when they were motivated. Now they have no motivation on New Year's Day in Kansas City, dude. One of the hardest places to play.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a whomping. This game is gonna be an absolute whomping. Kansas City is gonna be going for that number 1 spot. This is a big game for them. There's no way they're gonna mess around with a new head coach, with everything on the line for them. It could make or break their Super Bowl if they're first or second, because they don't want to go into Buffalo. Like, that's a tough game, man. They want to be at home.
Yeah, not to say that they're scoreboard watching because they're, the 7-time AFC West division champions, but Buffalo's got a tough 2 weeks here.
I think it's 8 now, right? And let's just call it 9 for next year already.
Oh, is that what it is? So 8 now? Sure. Whatever it is, 9, 10, whatever it is. It sounds like
I think it's 8, but we could give them one more for next year. They've got already awarded for
Yeah,
it.
so Buffalo, though, 2 tough games here with Cincinnati this week on the road and then on the road at New England next week. So
God, we need them next week. We need Buffalo next week. But
so, yeah, so to your point, though, Kansas City's definitely motivated because they see it. I mean, they got Denver. I'm not sure who they have next week, but they should be able to beat Denver. It's just a matter of if they can beat it by 12.5 points. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't even think Denver has the Chargers next week. Another game that just does not matter. Maybe for seeding, no, it's not even going to matter for Chargers seeding. Denver season's over, man. Yeah. I'm down to. That's a good best bet. I'm down to fade Denver. Speaking of a team whose season's over, Chicago Bears, they're fighting for that number 1 spot, and that number 1 spot is for the draft. And I forgot to mention that about Houston. We were talking about Jacksonville, Houston earlier. Houston wants to lose. They want the number 1 spot. You know what I mean? Like, it's tank season. This is time. They have nothing to play for. They already have their wins. The season it's not going to look any worse if they get 2 more losses. Same with Chicago. I'm actually surprised that Fields is playing. I guess maybe because it's indoors versus Detroit, like nothing's going to happen. You know what I mean? There's no weather. They're not going to tackle you. Like everything is fine. Just like play it out. But they're not going to win this game.
Little rematch, Aiden Hutchinson versus Fields, right? Or are they on the same field at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play
a little Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
This season's over for Chicago. I'm taking Detroit at home, back, comfortable. Jared Goff, everybody's back. And I'm making this my 3rd best bet.
Wow. It's one of those things, this is either going to blow up in my face or it's going to work out great. I don't know what it is. But in so many of these games, it matters for one side. So why wouldn't you bet the one side? I'm banking on Las Vegas, banking on you thinking that, or the general public thinking that. That's why I'm going with Chicago here, plus 5.5, especially if Fields is playing. He's good for 1 or 2 amazing plays throughout the game, usually with his legs, but sometimes he throws a 60-yard bomb down the field and connects. So, 5.5 points, you're indoors. Hopefully, I think it's going to be high scoring. I'm not sure what the over-under is right now for this game, but I would bet the over if I was a betting man.
52.5.
52.5. With how much money on it, that's what I was looking for. 60% of the money on the over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take the over. I mean, I think the Lions are going to score a lot with this Bears defense is not good. And I think the Bears are going to be able to put up a few points. Nothing crazy, but still get you into the teens, high teens, low 20s.
Okay.
But yeah, give me the Bears plus 5.5 on the road.
All right. I'm going against my best bet. I see you. All right.
Hey, I'm taking all the ugly games.
This game I'm actually worried about for what you just said, where Vegas is kind of pushing me one way and there's motivation really only on one side here. But I'm actually worried about this one, and that's Washington at home, -2.5 versus Cleveland Browns. I mean, the Cleveland Browns look pretty decent for what it was worth last week in that ridiculous weather.
Yeah.
I think that they somehow do have motivation because they are playing for next year. Like they finally got their quarterback. Most of their offensive pieces are will be back, minus Kareem Hunt. Like they're trying to figure out if they can figure out Amari Cooper, Njoku. Is Njoku still playing? I'm not sure if he IR'd.
I think he's hurt.
If they can figure out Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson just in the next 2 games, that would do wonders for them next season. I'm scared of this motivation game. I'm riding with Cleveland here, even though everybody on earth is going to want Washington. Have you checked the public on this game?
For this game, I have not recently. I did it earlier.
I have, Greg.
Today. Okay, what do you got?
93% of the money and 55% of the bets is on Washington.
Yeah, see, that's... yeah.
72% of the bets on the money line, Washington. It's -1.5. It just moved.
That's crazy. Yeah, so let's update that to 1.5. I'm with you. And again, I agree with everything you're saying. That's why I'm taking Washington.
But Washington is the play, though.
But normally I would come on here and say fade the public and take Cleveland. So I'm not fading the public and I'm taking Washington.
Okay.
The other reason why I think it is, like, again, Washington needs to win and get in. But how many times have you said Washington needs to win and get in and they won the game? Washington's one of those franchises. The Jets, I can say it because the Jets are in the same boat. We just lose these games. Like, Washington is not going to win this game.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm taking Washington.
Well, Carson Wentz is back. You haven't even meant that. Like, you haven't even mentioned the elephant in the room here. Carson Wentz is starting.
I didn't know he was starting. I knew he was back. I didn't know he was going to start.
Yeah, he has a starting job.
That's even crazier. So I like Washington even more because that's so disgusting to even think about.
That's what I'm nervous about.
Think about making it a best bet. I'm not, though. I'm not.
That's what I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about Carson Wentz. I'm nervous about everyone wants me to take Washington. They need to win. And everyone's just like hates Cleveland. Everybody's going to hate Cleveland till eternity because of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Yeah, and to your point, I think they looked pretty good last week. They got Taysom Hill a little bit in the second half. They just...
It's minus 30 degrees.
Yeah, Watson could not make a pass to Amari Cooper, but to your point, it was the winds were whipping. It was negative 30. Snow on the field, so I don't really blame him. I thought they looked okay.
But it wasn't even snowing. It was just so cold that it was just
snow on the field, yeah, ice on the field, whatever it was. So, yeah, give me Washington. Like I said, Washington does not win these types of games, so.
Last game of the 1 o'clock, Greg. This is a weird one. Not sure if Jalen Hurts is going to play. Eagles at home versus Saints, -6.5. The line moved 1 point. Then it moved from 5.5 to 6.5. From Gardner Minshew to Jalen Hurts. What are we talking about? This game makes absolutely no sense to me. But I absolutely love Philadelphia. You know why, Greg?
Why?
91% of the money is on New Orleans. Everybody loves New Orleans. How can you love New Orleans? Kamara's not even there. Literally, Kamara is not. He's not practicing. He's not going to play. If I could bet that Kamara's not going to play somewhere, I would do that.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram is calling the game in Alabama. He's on the Alabama radio. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
The Saints are going to get absolutely annihilated. And on the other side, you have the super motivated Eagles that are trying to solidify the bye week.
After last week, for sure, yeah.
You got Jalen Hurts, who doesn't even smile on the bench when he's up 45 points. And he's trying to come back off an injury. I could not believe that people like the Saints. This one is crazy to me. Like this is my mortal lock. Like we didn't do mortal locks. Like we have best bets. Like this, I don't even know where to put this. Tell me why. Like the only thing that's bothering me that is that it's not 9.5. Like that's maybe why I don't love it. You know what I mean? Like because it's 6.5 and like it's like feeding. It's like on a plate in gold wrapping.
Yeah.
Someone asked me what do you want this line to be, I would fairly say I'll take the alternate line 6.5, and I would max it at 9.5. I'd be like, oh, just give me 10, whatever. But what do you think? What do you think about this game, man?
Dude, I agree. Last week when I played this game of fading myself, there was still, even when I faded myself, there was still a few games that we agreed on. I don't think we have a single game. Oh, Carolina is the only game we agreed on, the 1 o'clock window, and Dallas on Thursday night. But dude, for all the reasons you said, give me New Orleans. They have no shot at covering 6.5. 6.5 is a terrible line.
It makes no sense. Taysom Hill is not going to get 1 yard. He's not going to get 1 yard in Philly.
Yeah, so this is actually it's one of the larger spreads of the weekend. So this is actually going to be my hold my nose pick. Just hold your nose and take New Orleans, because Philly's going to score. Philly's going to get up quick. They're going to be up 21-0 like they were in the Giants. Somehow, some way, I think the Saints are going to battle back. Philadelphia's going to fall asleep a little bit. They're going to win this game, Philadelphia, for sure. But 6.5 points could be a great backdoor cover for New Orleans. New Orleans, again, they're not really out of it, right? If they win out and Tampa Bay loses.
I mean, they're technically alive if Tampa wins this week, New Orleans wins, and then New Orleans beats Tampa next week. I think they win the division.
Or if Tampa loses this week, New Orleans wins this week and next week, and then Carolina loses next week.
I'm saying New Orleans plays Tampa next week, no?
Yeah, so that would get Tampa. That would get Tampa Bay to 7-10. Oh my God.
Yeah, no. Whoever's winning that is not even close to 500.
New Orleans would be 8-9. Oh my God, yeah. The winner of that division is looking like they're going to be under 500.
I mean, the 9-7 Giants had the hardest road to a Super Bowl ring in NFL history, I would argue. So
yeah,
just get in the dance. That's what's crazy.
That's all you gotta do any given Sunday.
All right. That's disgusting, Greg. I don't know how you're taking that. All right. 4 o'clock slate. Speaking of disgusting, Derek Carr's gone. Las Vegas Raiders at home, plus 9.5 now. Line moved a field goal. At home versus San Francisco, dude. What do you think?
I think it's so disgusting. I mean, 9.5. I didn't realize that this is a pretty big spread compared to the rest of the games. This weekend, and just I don't know what's going on with.
Are you a big Jarrett Stidham guy? That's the question.
This week I am, dude. I think we talked about like Mike White on the Jets episode. Go check out the Knicks, Jets, etc. Podcast episodes and stuff like that. Anywhere podcasts are available. Obviously we're on their YouTube channel, so go check out the Jets episode from this week where we had I Hate Sean on. And we talked about Mike White, just that 1-game bump when he comes back from injury, when he gets in for the first time this season. He gets that 1-game bump. I'm hoping Jarrett Stidham gives him something, dude. I really do, because Derek Carr ain't doing it. Derek Carr is so bad. He's making Devonta Adams look bad, and it's almost impossible to do. No one thought you'd see the day where Devonta Adams looks mortal, and he looks worse than mortal this season. So I think if Stidham just puts it in the direction of Adams, I think they got a shot. 9.5 points is a lot of points. 49ers, I don't know really what the motivation is for them. I saw McCaffrey's on the injury report. They've looked good the last couple weeks, but again, for them, it's been Brock Purdy to George Kittle. That's the only thing they really have going on offense. I think Kittle's had 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games or something like that. So I like the Raiders in this one. It's so disgusting. It is my second best bet of the weekend.
Listen, maybe I'm a sucker. I'm sticking with San Francisco here. The Raiders are motivated. So getting 3 more points, motivated. They don't want to look like a laughing stock. Stidham is playing for his career. McDaniels is staying, but he is playing for his coaching life. Josh Jacobs probably not that motivated to get hurt.
Yeah.
Uh, with a contract coming up, I know their season's technically still alive, but because their season is technically alive, I think that's why it's under 10 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if it wasn't alive, it'd be like 15, and I don't
Mm.
13 and a half.
That'd be one of the bigger spreads all season, and
13 and a half maybe.
yeah.
Jarrett Stidham and an unmotivated Raiders team.
Yeah,
Like,
if you're benching everyone, like if Adams isn't playing and the running back's not playing and Waller's not playing,
how motivated are they going to be? You know what I
I
mean?
can see
Waller's
13,
always
14.
hurt. I wonder if he probably doesn't want to get hurt if the game doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jacobs has a contract coming up. You know what I mean? Like just logically, it's never going to be like written in paper. So like that's what we're talking about when it comes to like motivation. Can San Francisco
They can't win the 1 seed.
technically still alive?
For the 1 seed, I don't think so.
Philly has 13 wins. San Francisco has 11. So I guess it depends on the tiebreaker there.
Yeah, and Minnesota has 12. So
Did they
have to
play each
jump
other this year?
Minnesota.
I'm not sure.
I don't believe so, off the top of my head.
So,
I could look real silly here in about 2 seconds when you find it.
they did not.
Yeah.
Eagles beat the Vikings. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to jump the Vikings and then jump Philadelphia with only 2 weeks left to go. I mean, that's tough to do. I guess maybe technically on paper it's still alive.
So they've been motivated this week at least. San
Yeah.
Francisco, like they've been practicing, like they're trying to win this game.
Like I said, McCaffrey's on the injury report. I'm not sure exactly if McCaffrey's one of those guys I feel like is always hovering around the injury report if he's not on the injury report. So I'm not sure exactly what the issue is going to be. Debo got a limited practice in, which is good, but I mean, I don't think he's going to play this week.
I'm gonna be a sucker. I'm gonna take San Francisco because they're just gonna run a couple times and just beat Oakland. Honestly,
Yeah, they're just going to play lockdown defense. Oakland's going to score maybe 6 points.
exactly. Stidham's not gonna score versus San Francisco. That's why you take -9.5.
Yep.
All right, going to the 4 o'clocks. Greg, my hold your nose pick of the week. The Green Bay Packers
Oh,
-3.5. What am I missing?
this is my what am I missing pick.
Hold your nose and take the Green Bay Packers because this line makes no sense. The Minnesota Vikings, who virtually can't lose a game.
Yeah, they look actively like they're trying to lose games, and they still can't lose a game. It's unbelievable.
It's impossible. It's impossible for them to lose football games at this point. They're getting a field goal and a hook to Green Bay. A field goal and a hook to Green Bay, who's fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
Minnesota's fighting for the 1 seed. What are we doing here? What are we talking about? Publix on Minnesota. I agree. This is what am I missing? But this is your hold your nose and take Green Bay because it doesn't make any sense. Just hold your nose and take Aaron. Just trust Aaron. Like this might be the actual game that everybody's been waiting for. You know what I mean? For Minnesota to say wow, they went into Lambeau Field and they lost, but they're not going to have to go anywhere in the playoffs, man. For the most part, until it's like the semifinals, until it's the conference championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only time they're going to have to be on the road. Otherwise, they're going to be in that stupid purple, loud, they pumping noise, whatever.
All that
stupid
BS.
pick to the Viking. Yeah, it's a nice little sanctuary they got over there. I'm taking Green Bay. This line makes no sense.
I'm taking Green Bay like we talked about, you should be betting on Minnesota. They're the better team. They've looked better all season. They're somehow getting 3.5 points. As my what am I missing pick of the week, it's Green Bay. I feel disgusting about it. It makes me sick to my stomach that I'm laying 3.5 points with a 7-8 team against a 12-3 team.
Makes no sense, and we hate Green Bay. Like
Yeah.
betting on Green Bay has been a losing adventure this year.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't get it together on offense. They definitely can't get it together on defense. So, what are you looking for here? They're at home, so I guess maybe that's good. But even then, it's not a primetime game. Like, if it was a primetime game, I was like, okay, maybe you could see them swinging the line
Dude,
that much. But it's still a 4 o'clock window. Kirk Cousins should be okay.
so this little, I'm not sure if it's a fairy tale or not, where teams have some choices about their primetime games when the schedule is being made.
Okay.
I literally wonder if Minnesota asked for the least amount of primetime games possible, or just like said like politely just declined. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like
surprised this game didn't get flexed into Sunday night.
this Sunday Night Flex is insane. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it make nothing here makes sense. All right.
Maybe because they just know it's going to be like New Year's Eve, so they just want the best teams to play early in the day. I don't know.
That's a good point. This game's gonna end at basically
The ball's going to drop 30 minutes after this game ends. Yeah.
That's a great point. The Knicks game too. The Knicks game starts at 7 then.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And the college playoff.
Yeah, that's an 8 o'clock start, right, for the second game of that day?
Yeah, maybe that's why, Greg.
Yeah,
Maybe
they
that's
don't
why.
want to
Maybe
compete.
they don't want to compete.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
We're on this one. We
My-
got our tinfoil hats on.
Yo, I'm gonna keep them on. Keep them on for this game because this
Okay.
is my. What am I missing for real? Like this is why they want to make the Green Bay game. What am I missing? Because what the hell am I missing, Greg? That the New York Football Jets are going on the road to Seattle, and they're minus 2.5. What on earth are we talking about? We cannot score points. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Even when it is Mike White, besides that Chicago game, we just can't score points. Even when we get turnovers, that's within the other team's territory. We barely get field goals. Even when we're in the red zone with Mike White, we don't score. Seattle is desperate. They need to win this game. Why on earth are the Jets minus 2.5? It's Seattle. They have a home field of 12s.
Yeah, 12 man up.
Besides the fact that they can't stop the run, what's going on here?
I don't know. To full disclosure, I had Seattle until you started talking about it. This makes absolutely no sense because I actually like the Seattle pick. So I'm going with the Jets.
You should
The
like Seattle.
The Jets
Any
don't.
reasonable person should like Seattle.
Yeah, they're at home. The season's on the line for both these teams. They're both 7 and 8. They're one game out of the wild card, respectively, for both teams. You're at home. DK's healthy. The other wide receiver there, Lockett's healthy.
Lockett.
You know,
I
Kenny.
don't know if he's healthy, but he might play.
He's probably going to play. Kenneth Walker.
Just to annoy
looks
us, if
good.
anything.
Yeah, just a distraction out there for either DJ Reed or Sauce all game. But and again, the Jets don't win these games. Mike White's coming back, but he's hurt with ribs. If he gets hit wrong on the first drive of the game, it's Joe Flacco season. Which, if that's the case, I think you mentioned it on the Jets episode. Just flush the season down. It's over. Just
Joe
end it right
Flacco's
then
in
and
this
there.
game. Let's start talking. Let's start hoping Green Bay loses.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so all the reasons why I said I absolutely hate the Jets is why I'm taking the Jets here as my my pick.
Yeah, no, this game makes literally no sense to anybody. Which, if Vegas thinks that the Jets should win, I'm all for it. I'm down. Let's do it. let's roll with it. The third game here literally does not matter. But last time the Rams didn't matter, they dropped 50. So, Rams Chargers plus 6.5 for the Rams. I'm just taking the Rams. Baker Mayfield motivated. They put up 50 for. I think that the Chargers are gonna sit everyone. Bosa's coming back for the first game ever. I feels like he had that terrible core injury. They're gonna be taking it easy. They can't be hurt. They're gonna go into these next 2 weeks with a bye. They're gonna have a double bye week before their wild card game.
Yeah, so now you're making me think about taking the Chargers because I thought for this one, I thought the Chargers were going to come out. They were going to look okay. This has to be the biggest letdown spot of all time of any game this season right now for the Rams. They scored 50 points with Baker Mayfield last week, and now you're going to come out here and win by Win against the LA Chargers who are going to the playoffs when you're sitting at, 3 wins, 5 wins on the season. Absolutely disgusting pick here, but I'm going with the Rams too. There's no way they win this game. There's no way they cover the spread. So that's why I'm making it my third and final best bet of the weekend. There's no way this bet should win. The only way it could win, to your point, is if you lock it in now and they do end up resting people. But because the line is 6.5, I don't think they are resting people.
This game's so tough. All right. It just doesn't matter so much, and there's going to be so much stress going on for me with the Jets, Seattle, and Minnesota, Green Bay that I'm just going to like.
Yeah, I'm not going to want to see this game at all. I don't want anyone to tell me about what's going on in this game. I don't care.
Yeah. All right. Sunday night, we talked about it. Definitely matters for the Ravens division, regardless. Possibly matters for Pittsburgh, depending on what goes on earlier.
It matters to Pittsburgh because they want to get to 500.
Oh, yeah, Tomlin.
Matters to Pittsburgh that they want to get to 500. That's why I am taking Pittsburgh plus 3.5. They looked absolutely disgusting last week. They looked absolutely dog shit last week. Saturday night they played? Everyone left at the end of the night. Me and my brother-in-law sat down, and we just watched this ugly, ugly game. And it was exciting on the very last drive for Pittsburgh to win a go-ahead touchdown. They look terrible. Baltimore, I think, has a better... I don't know, I would say a better defense, but a competent defense with a competent offense.
So bad.
Dude, Pittsburgh's offense is just so disgusting.
I like Pittsburgh.
I like Pittsburgh too because it's such. There's no way they win 2 weeks in a row when it's all on the line. This isn't a good team. It's a division game. They're on the road. There's no way they win this. There's no way they cover this. So that's why, again, I'm taking Pittsburgh plus 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Monday Night Football. To be honest with you, Greg, I know this is a crazy game, but for some reason, this game is really clear to me. I really want to know what you actually think. This game feels so easy, Bills. Easy, Bills.
Real quick before we get into this game, sorry. We were just talking a second ago. We had our tinfoil hats on for the Sunday night game and all this stuff. People that are listening right now are screaming that Sunday night is just the New Year. It's January 1st. It's not New Year's Eve. So the ball's not dropping. They're not competing with college football. Someone out there is like, "What are you guys talking about?" So sometimes when you put the tinfoil hats on, it goes too far. You start connecting some dots that aren't really there. You go a little Charlie Kelly on it. So apologize. I want to get the apology out of the way right now for all the listeners out there. I want to clear that up.
Monday off work kind of just messed with my head real quick.
I want to clear that up there. But yeah, let's get to the Monday night game. January 2nd, the Monday night game. Bills at Cincinnati.
Feels so easy with Lyle Collins out. So easy.
Right. That's why I'm taking Cincinnati. It makes absolutely no sense. It's a disgusting pick. And I'm going Cincinnati because Cincinnati doesn't really need it. But then again, you're talking about 1 seed. Cincinnati's 11-4. The Bills, if they lose this game, are 12-4.
They do need it.
Cincinnati's
they need it for the division, though. They need it for the division. Well, they'll know after the Sunday night game. But at this moment, they need it.
But listen to what I'm saying. If they win this game and they go to 12-4, they're tied with the Bills, and they own the tiebreaker against the Bills. They're also in the 1 seed.
But then this is going to go to Kansas City.
If Kansas City wins, which they will win against the Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't know what's going to happen any given Sunday, but
they need people to go to Ohio for a playoff game.
Yeah. True.
They can't be a wild card.
It'd be tough. So yeah, to your point, the Bills easy. I saw Stephon Diggs on the injury report. I'm sure he's gonna be fine. I'm sure he's gonna be healthy by Sunday or by Monday when they play this game, especially Monday night. To your point, the Buffalo Bills need to win this game to keep pace for the bye week, and they want the bye week. They want the AFC Championship to go through Buffalo, especially in January. And Cincinnati just had some great runs the last couple weeks. I just think eventually their luck is gonna run out. Mm-hmm. But I'm going with Cincinnati plus 1.5 at home. I don't care about that 1.5 points. I hate the pick so much. That's why I'm taking it.
All right, what do you got for your Hail Mary parlay?
Hail Mary parlay. It's points, 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 and boy, is it disgusting. I'm going all money line underdogs. We got 2 weeks left, John, so we got to hit something. And I'm shooting my shot here. I am going with the Miami Dolphins on the road against the Patriots, the Colts on the road against the Giants, the Carolina Panthers on the road at Tampa Bay. All road underdogs, all disgusting picks. 3-leg parlays plus 1,600. That gets me even on the season. Out of nowhere.
Yo, you know what? You know
That
what
gets me up on
changes?
the season because I hit one already. My fault.
What do you have for those? That's 4 games. You have
3.
Panthers, Dolphins, Colts,
Yeah.
and what do you have for that?
All money line plus 1,580.
Yeah, okay. If you add the Jets to that,
Oh.
that becomes plus 2895, so plus 2,900.
Okay.
I'm scared of the Colts, but I had those 3 because it's just what I need for the Jets. So that's my Hail Mary, bro. Like you
All
have to
right.
go my Hail Mary. That's what we're doing, man. I hate Tom Brady. I love Sam Darnold. I got Sam Darnold money line. I have the Dolphins money line because I hate New England. I have the Chiefs money line because I need Buffalo to be motivated next week to beat the Patriots just in case it doesn't happen this week. I got the Jets money line. I got Green Bay money line. I got the Bills money line because again, I need them to be motivated for next week versus New England. So that's the 6 games. That's the all-encompassing Jets parlay. That's plus 3,100, which you could take away Bills, Packers, and Chiefs and just add the Colts, and it's just about the same exact number there.
Yeah, I
So
like that.
however you want to play there, maybe I'll go on both of them. Just for him parlays here. What do you got for your teaser?
I'm looking at it right now for my teaser. I'm doing just 3 points. I'm doing 4 teams. Last week I missed with the unders. There was a couple really, really low scoring games that couldn't get me 30 points, which is just disgusting, but it happened. I am going with overs. 3-point teaser is plus 450 for these 4 teams. I'm going with the Broncos KC over 41.5. The Dolphins Patriots over 38.5. The Bears Lions over 49.5. And the Vikings Packers over 45.5. 4-leg teaser plus 450. Lock it in.
All right, I'm taking a 6-legger plus 500 with 6 points. Panthers plus 9. Eagles money line. Kansas City minus 6.5. Jets plus 4.5. Green Bay plus 3. Bills plus 4.5. I'm getting that 500. That's easy.
Bang, bang.
All right, let's go to the full slate.
Bang, bang.
Let's
Bird
get out of
gang.
here. 1:00. Arizona, Atlanta. Atlanta minus 3. What do you got?
Arizona plus the points.
All right, I got Atlanta here. Chicago at Detroit. Detroit minus 5.5. What do you got going?
Chicago plus the points.
Denver at Kansas City. Kansas City minus 12.5. What do you got?
Kansas City minus 12.5. My first best bet of the day.
I'm with you on Kansas City. I have the Lions
Mm-hmm.
against Chicago. And also, all right, make that my quasi best bet, dude. I love Detroit so much. All right, Miami plus 2.5 at New England. What do you got?
Give me Miami plus 2.5.
All right. I got New England, even though I don't like it. Colts plus 6 at the Giants. What do you got?
I like Indy plus the points.
I got the Giants motivated at home. Best bet of mine. Oh, I do have Detroit as a best bet. Let's go. Detroit best bet. Giants best bet. Okay, good. New Orleans plus 6.5 at Philly. What do you got?
I like New Orleans plus 6. Take 6.5. Hold your nose and take the Saints.
Disgusting. Carolina best bet plus 2.5 for me at Tom Brady, Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay. What do you got?
I got Sam Darnold in Carolina in a revenge game against Todd Bowles and Tom Brady. Give me Carolina plus 2.5.
God, I love the Jets. So funny. Cleveland Browns plus 1.5 at Washington. What do you got?
I like Washington at home -1.5.
Cleveland. Jacksonville -4.5 at Houston.
I like Houston.
Yeah, I'm taking Jacksonville. I think they're going to be motivated, even though this game means nothing. San Francisco -9.5 at the Jarrett Stidham, Josh McDaniels, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs. What a squad. What do you got?
I got Las Vegas +9.5 as my second best bet of the day.
I got San Francisco. Jets. Looks like it's at -1.5 now.
Yes.
At Seattle. What do you got?
I like the Jets -1.5.
Me too. That was my hold your nose. What am I missing? Whatever you want to call it. Minnesota +3.5 at Green Bay. What do you got?
This is my what am I missing pick of the week. It's Green Bay -3.5.
Was your hold your nose? Take Green Bay. Makes no sense. Rams +6.5 at the Chargers.
Rams +6.5. My third and final best bet of the Sunday.
Sunday night, not New Year's Eve. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore -3.5. What do you got?
Pittsburgh +3.5.
Me too. With you on the Rams as well. Buffalo -1.5 at Cincinnati. What do you got?
Cincy +1.5 at home.
That wraps up week 17. Winning Picks Weekly at Winning P Weekly Twitter. Hit us up on our YouTube. Hit us up on our comments, DMs on Twitter. We know you're there. Let us know what you got. You know the drill. Anything else, Greg?
No, Happy New Year to everyone. Let us know what you like in the comment section below. And also check out the college episode. We put out our final college football episode of the season with Chip Murphy7 on Twitter. You can find him over there. You can find all his picks over there. He's betting all the bowl games, so go check out our picks over there. I don't know how
freaking out about officiating if that's what you're about with Syracuse.
I was gonna say, what was Syracuse, Minnesota? How'd that game finish up? We talked about that.
You don't know how that finished up
on the podcast? No, I didn't see that.
I honestly I want to send you the video, get your live reaction.
All right, we'll talk. Maybe we'll do a separate episode. We'll do a separate video after this. But yeah, go check it out over there. I saw Florida State. Shout out Jared Verse. I don't know if he played or not. I didn't get to see it.
He got a sack on the, and that set up their second touchdown.
Perfect. Well, let's get it going. Shout out to him. Great win today. Yeah, go check it out, and then let us know what you guys like this weekend. As always, Winning P Weekly on Twitter. We'll see you next week.
Well, Greg, the truth is, it's funny. I thought maybe like after the game they would show there was a phantom, literally phantom, unsportsmanlike conduct call that the camera didn't see, and then the game just ended. That's how the game ended.
Really?
It was the most unbelievable thing of all time.
I'm trying to find it here on ESPN.
It doesn't exist. That's why I was trying to find it. I thought maybe like
Oh, there it is. Minnesota 28-20.
Bad news. All right. Peace out.